The year was 1991. The biggest threat to global energy security was over. Saddam Hussein's troops were pushed out of Kuwait and back into Iraq. And thus began the era of peace and prosperity for the Arab Gulf states for the next 3 decades. This peace, however, was underwritten by a slightly controversial thing: US military bases. In February of 2026, these bases suddenly became targets, with tense ramifications for the countries hosting them. This is the Gulf Front. This is episode 5 of Iran, the War. Last episode saw the Iraqi front. From Iraq, Iraqi militias, alongside Iran, launched hundreds of strikes against their southern neighbors, the Arab Gulf states. Tallies by Sharq al-Awsat, taken in June of 2026, indicate that Iran has attacked the Arab Gulf states over 7,000 times, with the 3 most attacked countries being the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. From a strategic standpoint, this was a disaster for 3 main reasons. First of all, it broke the economic stability dominant in the Gulf, which the Arab states relied on for their growth. Lack of investments and tourists means overall less money entering the region from non-oil sectors. And oil brings us to the second point. The closure of Hormuz means that these countries cannot export their main commodity. A report by The Economist in May said that Saudi oil exports fell by 30%, with Emirati exports 50%. The UAE and Saudi Arabia, though, have coasts outside of Hormuz. For Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar, who don't have the same luxury, their oil exports before May were nearly zero. This means, once again, less income entering these countries overall. And that takes us to the third and final point. The Iran war has reshaped the dynamics that these countries have with their main security partner, the United States. America's bases were supposed to act as a deterrent, or at least as a defense. The war, however, has turned that logic on its head. The housing of US military bases gave America a means to a war the Arabs didn't want, while also allowing Iran the justification to attack these countries. These are the 3 primary issues, and the Gulf nations have sought different remedies to their problems. The Gulf needs one main thing: to prove to the world that they can defend themselves and the civilians that they house. As more missile and drone strikes got through, and as life-threatening attacks on electricity and water occurred, the stakes were increased. That being said, in May, the Wall Street Journal reported that Saudi Arabia secretly launched attacks on drone and missile launch sites in Iran, with Bahrain and Kuwait later attacking in July. As for the UAE, the Wall Street Journal says that the Emiratis responded to Iranian attacks as early as the first week of the war. The UAE brings us to the next point. While the main conflict has been between the Arab Gulf states and Iran, there's also another dynamic at play. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have had some disagreements in recent years. Their disagreements, however, arguably stem from the same issue: border security. Both the Saudis and the Emiratis are sandwiched between increasing Israeli influence in the West and an Iranian system of alliances in the East and South. What differs is their approach. Beginning with the Saudis, they've sought to shore up their own network of alliances, especially after Iranian and Israeli strikes on Qatar in 2025. This strategy generally consists of coordination with Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey. For Egypt and Pakistan, while they're not in the Gulf, their economies are greatly tied to remittances and investments from not just Saudi Arabia, but all the other Gulf states as well. That means that if the Saudis can't make money, then Egypt and Pakistan probably won't either. That may also explain why Egypt has shored up support to the UAE, from which it also receives remittances and investments. As for Turkey, it has a shared interest with the Saudis in limiting Iranian and Israeli influence, especially in Syria, where both Ankara and Riyadh support Ahmed al-Shara's new government. The UAE, however, has taken a different approach to the problem of security. It has instead doubled down on its relationship with America and the State of Israel. Reports by the Times of Israel and Haaretz indicate that Israeli weapon systems have helped the UAE defend against Iranian attacks. And that's in addition to overall high levels of cooperation with America in the war with Iran. The UAE likely sees Israeli and American defense cooperation as a solution. From Saudi Arabia's perspective, however, that may just increase the geopolitical chokehold surrounding it and may push it to further diversify its alliances. The past 5 episodes have analyzed nearly every part of the Iran war. Every part except one, the one who arguably holds most of the cards, the United States. Next episode, we'll see the US home front and the relationship of that faraway nation with the Iran war. Until then, thank you for watching.